In this video, we're going to be talking about the properties of simple covalent compounds. So what are the properties of simple covalent compounds? Well, they all have low melting points and low boiling points, and they don't conduct electricity. So, in an exam, you need to be able to explain them properties by relating it back to the bonding, okay? So, why do they have low melting points and boiling points? Well, unlike ionic compounds, which exist in a giant ionic lattice, covalent compounds exist as molecules. And molecules are attracted to each other by intermolecular forces, and these intermolecular forces are quite weak, so they're very easily overcome, and that's why they can melt easily. Okay. So let's look at these intermolecular forces in a bit more detail. Okay. Here we've got a diagram showing some water molecules, and the red atoms represent the oxygen and the white represent the hydrogen. And they're held together by strong covalent bonds. If you look at the black dotted lines in between the molecules, they represent the intermolecular forces. Now, intermolecular forces are extremely weak, okay? So it's easy to overcome these, and because it's easy to overcome them, you don't need much energy to break them. And that's why covalent substances have low melting points and boiling points. Now, a common mistake that pupils make on this is that they talk about covalent bonds not being strong, and that's why they have low melting points and boiling points. That is incorrect, okay? All chemical bonds are really strong. Remember, a covalent bond is a strong electrostatic attraction between a shared pair of electrons and the two nuclei from each of the atoms. If you get confused about that, all you have to do is think about water. When water's in the solid phase, we call it ice. It has the formula H2O. If we melt it, it becomes liquid water. It still has the chemical formula H2O. And if we boil it and make it into a gas called steam, okay, it still has the chemical formula H2O. That means that in all them transitions from solid to liquid to gas, no chemical bonds have been broken. So don't talk about covalent bonds being weak when you're talking about melting and boiling simple covalent substances. You always got to discuss these intermolecular forces and explain that they're weak, and that's why you don't need much energy, and that's why they have low melting points and boiling points. So if we look at their electrical conductivity, okay, simple covalent compounds do not conduct electricity, okay? They haven't got any ions in there, and there's no delocalized electrons. So because there's no ions and there's no delocalized electrons, there's nothing available that can move, that can carry the charge, okay? And remember, current, an electrical current, is the flow of charge. So again, because they've got no ions and they've got no delocalized electrons, they cannot conduct electricity. So, to summarize, okay, you need to remember that simple covalent compounds have low melting points and low boiling points due to their weak intermolecular forces in between the molecules, and they also don't conduct electricity because they've got no charged particles, such as ions, and they've got no delocalized electrons. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you.